but I did some freelance too, but that's it. So I'm here in Talking for 1.5 months, more or less. I started the similar. I forgot the name because it's very Larissa. Similar the same projects, the social community. So that's it. I'm here and I'm very happy to be here.
Thanks a lot, Gabriel. And we are live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I'm Sarah. I'm going to be your hostess today. We come here to this community to practice our English speaking. Okay, so this is not a class, just a free conversation. And to make it sure we have more time, get more comfortable to share our opinions, I'm going to split us in 2 rooms. Okay, just a minute, guys. Larissa is staying here with me. So is Ayla. And the others go to the breakout room, okay? You're gonna receive an invitation. If not, it means you're staying here with me. Around 10 minutes before the end, I call you back. We talk over about the conversation, share some ideas, okay? And finish. So have fun. And please don't forget to be respectful, okay? Always so important. Okay, here we go. So today, like I said, we are talking about feedbacks, okay? And we just introduced ourselves. And our topic is, our second question, sorry, is how do you handle feedback at work? Ayla, can you start?
Sure. So I think I handled about feedback at my work well, because all the time I need to do feedback, and because I work with public, and I need to accomplish the deadline. So it's there is a person, a tough person under under us, because people when they look for our work, they needed to they are passed for difficult situations, especially financial situations. So it's so hard, and all the time we suffer pressure from them to solve their problems, and it's about the lawsuit, processos judiciais. So it's so hard, and all the time I receive a lot of emails, and I need to reply, and there is it's necessary there is a feedback, because people want to know how long or it's sounds like that, and I don't know, it's sometimes it's so hard, because when there is a lot of lawsuit to solve, it's I don't know, sometimes I freak out. I freak out, surto, because it's so hard. And so, but yeah, it's my work. So it was my choice, and I chose this for me. So, and I'm aware, I'm aware, I'm a public servant, so I need to do this because uh, I think if I was in, I was, se eu tivesse no lugar dele, I would do the same. So I totally understand, and I think it's complicated, but it seems that it's most important to do a feedback and to be patient, and because I don't know, when there is people in need, or people who are sick, people who are enabled to work, for example, and everything become more difficult. And I totally understand. So that's why I try I try do my best, and I all the time I do feedback for them. So yeah.
Yeah. So interesting, because usually we don't talk so much about the reality, the routine in the public sector, you know. Here, I think we have more professionals that work in the private sector, and always when we talk, you can bring this perspective, and so good, because I really don't know how it works, and now you are sharing about it, how the feedback culture can be different there because of the pressure, the deadlines you mentioned. So yeah, it's so nice. Thank you for sharing, Ayla. And you, Larissa, how do you handle feedback at work?
For me, feedback is the best way to develop ourselves. And I handle, it was a great opportunity to know my points, to improve, and help my coworkers and my leadership to improve their selves. So I handle like this. I don't know how they say that.
You think you can notice the bright side about feedback, right? Because you can learn, you can improve. I got it. I feel like for me it's easy, but it depends on how the person talks, because you can express the same idea in different ways, you know. But in general, if you are being kind, if you are being polite, it's so important to work your communication, to be polite, to be understandable. You can be like firm and share your point of view in a respectful way, but you don't need to like talk loud or anything just because you are in a position of power, you know. So I would say in general, I don't have like a hard time handling feedback, but maybe depending on the person, I could get a little upset, take personally, you know, because I'm not like made of stone or made of iron. I don't know if they have the expression in English, but I'm human, right? So I can feel not so happy about the feedback sometimes. But if you say it nicely, I can understand and try to visualize how I can improve and try to work on myself. Like Larissa said, I think it's so important to be open, right? Because we are not perfect. And if you have the chance to listen about your points to improve, it is a chance for you to do it better in the next time and so on. So keep it answering the questions. The third one, I would like Larissa to start with this question. Okay.
I don't understand.
Can you read the next question?
Okay. What's the best moment to provide feedback?
What do you think?
I think the best moment to provide feedback is close to the situation that happened, as positive or negative, because the situation is in your mind and you can remember the details of the situation.
That's good. If you wait so much, you forget the other person too. Yeah, makes sense. And you, Ayla, what is the best moment?
Yeah, I think the best moment is when you need to explain, or when there is some I don't know, misunderstanding, and you need to clear something. And yeah, sometimes that's happening with me because I don't know, there is a difficulty communication, because there is so technical language about the law environment, and sometimes it's complicated for people in general understand. And when there is this, it's a good moment to try to use a simple word, for example, to avoid misunderstand, or to explain them, something like that, you know. So in my case, it's the best moment to provide our feedback.
Different scenarios, right, where you could provide feedback, like if you had a misunderstanding, or if you are starting a project, for example. I'd say that could be interesting because you need all the information you can get. Like, the project is new, you don't know a lot of things yet. So if you have some feedback about this first moment, it could be so helpful, in my opinion. And I have like a simple answer for that. That is when somebody asks, because sometimes people try to make it seem so fancy, so hard, so complex, the feedbacks, but it could be like just a comment, in my opinion. Like, you could have a whole meeting to provide feedback, but you could just talk to your colleague and say, oh, we need to work in this direction, So just a short conversation could also work as a feedback moment, and you could learn, you could understand how the company needs to change, or how you need to change as an employee. So talking about feedback, I believe it could be so frustrating when people ask for feedback. So what do you think about my performance? And the manager is like, oh, we're gonna have a meeting for that. Why can't you say your opinion? Why can't you say, oh, you're doing good, you're not doing so good, you could change this and that? So I think sometimes we could make it simple and just as effective. Do you wanna add something?
Me?
Yeah, could be. I do have any comments.
No. Number 4.
Yeah, go ahead.
What questions can you ask when seeking feedback? In my case, I ask like this. Can you understand this? Can I help you to understand about it? Or I need to advise you, and if you don't bring some documents, it's difficult to help you to attend your required, something like that, and I think my work is a little like I don't know, pedagogical sometimes, because I need to in the simple way, more effective, like you said, Sarah, to make people able to solve that problem. And sometimes it's difficult because there is some people who don't have formation. I don't know, educational formation. So it's hard sometimes, and I think it's sad. I think it's sad, and we need to be patient when that's happening, and to try change your words, and that's the way they can understand you. Yeah, it's sometimes it's not easy, but we try to do our best, and we try to develop this our side as a pedagogical professional. I don't know. Yeah.
You gotta have a lot of patience to do that, right? To teach and make it easier for people to understand.
Yeah.
And I think you are a great professional, because some of them are not so happy about it. I have to teach, I have to say it again. If you don't have the patience for that, it could be quite difficult, right? Or even annoying. People feel like they don't have motivation to keep working because of this. So if you can help people, that's great. And you, Larissa?
Usually I ask about I don't know if this word exists, but my comportment, and about the quality of my deliveries, points to improve or develop, and if it all is okay, I don't know, I ask about the next step and maybe a promotion.
That's good. Are you brave enough to ask for promotions? Yeah. Some people don't like this conversation.
Yeah, most of leadership don't like.
Yeah, true story. I think you should ask, because you are developing in the company, you are delivering what they ask for. So it's only fair, right, to ask for promotions. For me, it depends a little on the person. For example, I could ask feedback for the boss or the client. For the boss, I'd ask about the performance, the results. I think engagement is something that it could be mentioned, because if you work with people, you need to somehow make them remain interested in whatever you provide, you know. So I think this is important. Ask about the results, because you have some ways to analyze your progress, your performance, you know. So I would ask for that. And I really like, I'm gonna steal a little the answer about the future. How can I prepare myself for the next steps? Or do you plan to do, like, to change anything here in the company, and how can I help? Where do I stand in this new phase, you know, for the company? So I believe it's important. And if I'm asking feedback for the client, I can ask about how comfortable we were with my service, you know, because it's important to make sure they felt welcome, they felt well being receiving your service. Like I was talking with you, and I solved your problem. That is an important question to make. Did I solve your problem? Because at the end of the day, people just want solutions. They don't want like huge systems or anything so fancy. In my perspective, you go to the store to buy sunscreen, you want a solution. You want to buy like an app, you want a solution for your company. So in the end of the day, it can be quite simple, you know. So I think this is important to see if I solve the problem, and how can I do better next time, if I can help you with anything else, and just, you know, leave the door open for next conversations, next opportunities, you know. My point of view, that could be good for the future, because you don't end the relationship, you could have other negotiations in the next years or the next months, you know. And number 5, I really like this one because I like to bring the polemic questions. Number 5, is there a difference between feedback and criticism? Please explain your opinion. Larissa, how do you see these two things?
For me, has a difference. Feedback is provided in a structured way, and its principal goal is to help other people improve at some specific point. It must be clear and objective, with an action plan and deadline to improve happen.
What about criticism? How do you see this word or this thing?
It's the opposite. Criticism don't have a structured way to put your point of views for something. So for me, it's totally the opposite.
Okay, I get it. That's interesting. We can handle both, right, at work. Some people just criticize and others actually help. Yeah. Ayla, how do you see this issue?
Yeah, I agree with Larissa about the feedback. I think the feedback is so useful because it's a good moment to become the information more clear and objective, I don't know, and to try to solve some misunderstanding, and I think feedback is so useful for me, so useful. Besides, I received people in general. I receive some sometimes lawyers and doctors, and sometimes it's important to have this feedback with some professionals. So, and because if not, probably sometimes there is some misunderstanding. That can become can become can be some harmful for some situation. And about the criticism, I think criticism it's the opposite, especially when we are talking about the negative criticism, and it's so complicated when there is at a work environment, especially negative criticism, because I think feedback it's a good way to improve your work the same way, and to help someone or to learn it, because we can learn it too from feedback. But criticism, it's the opposite. I think usually criticism it's no good, because sometimes we receive some bad criticism, and it's no good for anyone. I think people can feel underappreciated, and it can be harmful for employees, for work environment, especially when there is a criticism between boss and their workers, or criticism between co-workers. It's no good. It's no health for a good environment work. So, yeah.
Yeah, when the colleagues are criticizing, I think it's even worse because you feel like you are not my boss. Depending on the relationship you have, you can take it like in a bad way, because this person is going beyond her power or her responsibility, so sometimes it's better to have the feedback from the person you respond to, like your boss or your manager, because if you are not working directly with that person and he or she comes to you with feedback or criticism, it could be offensive or, I don't know, not so helpful. I'd say that I agree with you to a certain point about the criticism. I've joined a conversation here about this topic, and it has opened my mind a little. Like, I believe that when we talk about feedback, we have like a certain dose of criticism, because it's a judgment in a way, right? You are putting scale, you are putting the person to prove themselves. Oh, are you like good enough for this position? And you have to evaluate. You are not based on, oh, this person is nice, it's beautiful. No, it's about results basically. So for me, in a level, you criticize the person, but like I mentioned, it's not like negative criticism. It's just a way for you to use your opinions, to say something that maybe it's not so good, it could be better, you know. So for me, they're not like completely opposite, but you could have more harm from criticism than feedbacks, because feedbacks are supposed to be productive, to bring good results, right? And criticism can either be positive or negative. So I think you have this difference, you know. At least that's why what I came at right now. Sometimes I have an idea and I come here and say something different. So Larissa is gonna see part of the process. You see the questions and you think, oh, I'm gonna say this and that, and then you say other things. It's normal. Let me see, number 6. Ayla, like to start with this question.
Of course. Have you learned anything from getting feedback throughout your career? If so, go ahead and share these insights. Yeah, I have learned a lot of things during I getting feedback, and I like when I receive feedback to improve my, I don't know, my, for example, my way to do something, my schedule, and I don't have a problem about it. I like when people, some colleagues from my work, said me, oh, you can improve this. I think if you do this way, you don't waste some, you don't waste some time, or you could finish your task more fast. Something like that, you know, and I think it's good. We can learn about it. But unfortunately, sometimes I notice that is some people don't like it, and so they misunderstand when we try to give them some feedback about their work there, and unfortunately that can be a boundary, uma barreira, can be a boundary to improve their work and the all of work, the environment, because I need the work from the others, and the opposite is true. So, but sometimes people don't know, can't see it the same way, and that can be a boundary to improve our nosso atendimento como um todo. Yeah, that's it.
That's good. So insightful about the cooperation, you know, in the workplace, because if work depends on other people, it could be like harmful for you if they don't listen to your feedback, or they just seem to not care about it because they know better. Some people are like this. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm not open to anything. So it's really hard to handle this type of personality at the workplace. I really avoid. And you, Larissa?
In my case, I always learn with the feedbacks that I receive. And I don't know how I explain this in English, but I'm trying. Once when I was a junior analyst, I don't know, I got a feedback that I didn't question the demands that my stakeholders made me. And because of that, I accept a lot of things that didn't make sense or didn't have priority, or it wasn't responsibility of my area. I don't know. And after that, I became a question person. I started to understand demands and the business. And nowadays, people usually compliment my posture. I don't know.
Yeah, I was imagining the conversation, you need to question the demands because we want to show we are available. I'm a good worker. I'm here to serve, to do my best. But sometimes it could be like a test. Oh, how much can she accept? Maybe they were expecting you to say something. Oh, this is not my responsibility. I have other priorities right now. So I really like this example. Really nice. And I was thinking about that I learned to be more proactive in my job because I was kind of shy, especially at the beginning, So I didn't want to bother others. I was like, I'm not gonna ask things, I'm gonna find out by myself. But that's not always possible. Sometimes you really don't know if questions are welcome. So my manager said, oh, I was expecting for you to call me and ask for suggestions, ask about the courses or the procedures. And I was like, no, I'm working, I'm searching things, but all by myself. And I noticed he didn't want that. He wanted me to interact, to ask, and I learned that sometimes you need to go to your manager and say what is on your mind, in a respectful way, of course, but you cannot like be the person who, oh, I'm gonna figure it out by myself. It doesn't always work like this. And also the communication. I'm trying to avoid to improve that because I'm the type of person who says I'd like, instead of say I want. When you say I'd like, you queria, it's kind of soft. It's like, oh, if you cannot do it, that's okay. But if I say I want, it could show more that I'm serious, that I'm being informed about my ideas. So sometimes this change of words make a lot of difference in our communication. You show more confidence in yourself, so you should be polite, but it's important to choose your words in the best way to be taken seriously, because I have this young face, so sometimes I'm not taken so seriously, but it's something that I'm working on to, I don't know, get the things that I want, achieve my goals, and progress in life. Larissa also has the young face, maybe she faces the same situations.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah. Você tem rosto de, assim, a young face, like you are a teenager or younger, você parece mais nova, né? Então, às vezes, não é tão levado a sério no trabalho. Does it happen with you? Isso acontece com você?
Sometimes. But I'm 29 years old.
Yeah, but just looking at your face, people don't notice. They don't get
Really?
your age, She looks like, I don't know, 19, something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And the voice
Yeah,
also.
she looks like very young.
That's positive. You should be happy about the compliment. I think that because some people don't like to look younger. Algumas pessoas
People
não
don't
gostam,
like,
né?
sorry.
Algumas pessoas não gostam de parecer mais novas, né? Elas querem ter cara de mulher, de...
It's okay.
Yeah, for me it's okay.
For me, it's
I
okay.
enjoy the experience.
Aí quando tá mais velha quer parecer mais nova.
É, exatamente. Good point. And you cannot go back to the young age, so what's the point, you know? Girls, we're about to finish. I'm gonna call the others back in maybe 3 minutes. I'd like to ask you some feedback, some things about the topic. How did you like it? Larissa, can you say anything about your first time?
Yeah, it's my first time with you because I didn't know. I did other sessions, but I really like this topic because it's about our routine at work. So for me, it's very important to think about this and hear or heard, I don't know, the other point of view to the other people. So I appreciate it.
You're welcome to come more often, okay? It's gonna be a pleasure. I really like your vibe. I just like that. And you, Ayla?
Yeah, I like it. I like it too, and I think it's business. It's sometimes it's complicated for me. It's as so a serious subject. So sometimes I have difficulty because I don't have so much vocabulary in this to talk better about this subject. But I like it. I like it because it's a kind of a challenge for me too, and sometimes it's good to talk to and to listen to other people and the other experience in their work environment because it's so hard to talk to about the business, the work environment, the boss, the co-workers, but it's part of our life, so it's a good opportunity to learn and to improve.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's nice when you challenge ourselves. I love the comfortable topics like family, routine, but sometimes we need to go to take the next step, you know, to do differently, to challenge ourselves, like you said. So I really appreciate you coming here. So I'm calling the others back. There are some questions I'd like us to answer, but not today. Maybe a part 2. I'm like I feel sad because I get excited about the questions I write and then I cannot answer all of them. So I have to think in another immersion, maybe change some things and bring the questions. Okay, so the guys should be back in some seconds. Let's just check how was the conversation for them. Welcome back, everyone. Sheila, Flavio, Jairo,
Hello.
Gabriel. How was it, Priscilla?
I'm sorry?
Well, I don't listen, Sarah.
Okay, I'm gonna say it again. How was the conversation for you?
Oh, the guys is very good conversation, but about topics, it's a little difficult. But in general, it's okay. It's a good conversation, a good moment. That's it.
So I have a question for you, okay? Number 9.
Ixi,
You should you should compliment in public and criticize in private. What do you think? Do you agree with that?
So depends of the company and the department. I'm thinking about my last job, but in general, I consider it's more appropriate to conversation and to select the people and to conversation only you and the people and the person. It's, in my opinion, it's more, it's good, in my opinion. And you, and I don't know, say, but it's about your good opinion about the person or a bad opinion. It's more appropriate the between employee and employee, in my opinion.
Good point. Maybe it's more comfortable, this environment with less people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Priscilla. Guys, I shared the
Welcome.
survey. Okay, this is our feedback link. Just say some of your thoughts. I liked it, I hate it. Just say the words, okay? Next week, we're talking about the social media, LinkedIn, that is used for professional matters, like I think you guys know this platform, okay? And just to finish, I'm gonna ask Gabriel the last question, okay? Number 10, how can we ensure that feedbacks focus on performance and not personal traits?
How can we ensure that feedback is focus? Is a difficult question. So, how can I don't understand how can we ensure that feedback is focused on performance, okay, and outcomes hidden that personal trends. So I believe, for example, about feedbacks, we said in the class, the second class, about this feedback and criticizing is when you receive a feedback, you can improve this person. Existing negative feedbacks and positive, but all these things is for to improve this person. Yeah, but criticizing, I know it's not the question here, but help it about this. Criticizing is for to down this person, you know, the emotion and these things. So always when you focus on performance, you can talking with this person for to improve. If the feedback is a good feedback, is not the criticizing. Always if in negative and positive, always for to improve this person. So I believe that, you know, so is about this. Ever feedback is good, for the person. We talk with this a lot in the another class, you know. But this question is difficult to explain and understand. But this is, in my opinion, that's it.
There's a mix. Easier questions, harder questions. I gave you the hard one, sorry. But I think it's related to the other one, like you said, the number 9. So they go to the same direction, and I agree with you. It's important to make sure your criticism is it has balance and is focused on the deliveries and not, oh, this person is nice or this person is my friend, but let's talk about facts, right? And not my likes or dislikes. So it was a pretty good answer. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. Bye-bye, Larissa, Ayla, Gabriel, Priscila, Jairo, and Flavio. I hope to see you next
Bye-bye.
time.
Have a nice
Thank you.
Have a nice
Bye
one.
bye, everyone.